What's up, everybody? A little bit of a different view today. This is obviously not the R1. So I was being hassled by a buddy of mine yesterday about wanting to see my RX8, and another old Mazda friend of mine who was still asking me if the car was still alive, and so I figured I would do a video showing that the car is very much alive and well, running under its own power. It needs a new set of tires. I've got a set of 255 Nitto Invos that have seen a few track days and are a few years old. They could definitely use replacement. But on my way into work today, being that it's Sunday evening, traffic should be fairly manageable. Hopefully construction isn't too bad. And I don't usually like driving it on weekdays when there's lots of traffic, just because I feel like there's a greater chance that the car could be involved in a wreck. So it's this used to be, when I bought this car back in 2005, when it was a virgin. It was my daily driver for about 4 years. I put about 110,000 miles on it before I finally neglected it to garage duty. So I talked quite a lot about the history of this car in my second garage chat. You know, I've struggled a lot with whether or not I wanted to keep the car, whether or not I wanted to get rid of the car. Mostly just from a usefulness standpoint, but this car I've got so much history with this car, and so many people, not including myself, have put in a tremendous amount of time and effort into this vehicle that it would almost be disrespectful to sell the car after everyone's put so much hard work into it. So it's not that I dislike this car at all, not at all. This car is just simply a handful. It's a lot of work, and I haven't had the patience in quite a long time to really get into handling some of the more fine intricacies that the car requires, just as a sort of a matter of pride. It's, you know, the looks and the cleanliness and the pristine the pristine operation and stuff. And, you know, right now the car, it works, it runs. You know, I don't have any complaints, other than the fact that, thinking about it now, I'm pretty sure that the insurance in the glove box is out of date. Got a great sound to it, though. A lot of what you hear is actually the transmission, though, not the car. The car almost sounds like it's got dog gears, because this is the original transmission of this car. It's got 126,000 miles on it. Transmission, you have to be very nice to it. So let's see, we can talk some modifications really quick. The motor that's in this car is a rebuild. It's a rebuild performed by Black Halo Racing. using all of their specifications for side seal clearances and overall build quality. The motor itself, and this is a 2005, the motor is out of a 2004 RX8. The motor had about 30,000 miles on it when I purchased it, and then subsequently blew the motor shortly afterwards. So we rebuilt it. It's got reconditioned housings and lapped irons. All new soft parts though, all new seals, apex seals, corner seals, side seals, all that stuff was brand new when we had it, when we rebuilt it, when Ray rebuilt it, not when we rebuilt it. Other items, it does have the stock, or the, I guess the unmodified GReddy Turbo kit using a basically a TD0618g Mitsubishi Turbo, which is good for a little extra pep, but the wastegate is undersized for the car for the amount of exhaust flow. Rotaries have a tremendous amount of exhaust gas flow compared to a piston motor of its equivalent size, which this one's a 1.3 liter. And as a result, without an adequate wastegate spring, or really just a wastegate that's properly sized, it basically flops open at about 6,000 RPMs and stays open unless I'm at part throttle, and then I get full boost. Let's see, some other stuff about, so I'm using the Cobb access port for tuning. The car is tuned by myself. I tuned it personally. Let's see, besides that, some other upgrades using the special black edition HKS sequential blow-off valve, upgraded silicone lines, using a modified AEM intake for the intake portion of it. Gauges, obviously, Innovate air fuel gauge. The rest of it's are Pro Sport gauges, which are inexpensive, but they get the job done. Have them for fuel pressure, water temperature, oil pressure, and oil temperature. The water temperature gauge is disconnected currently because I installed an upgraded set of secondary radiators, and I had to tap into the heater line that the water temperature gauge pulled from, so it's just a list of things I need to do. Other upgraded components, white line front and rear sways, white line adjustable end links, K-Sport, I think there's their Pro set of adjustable coilovers that I got from my buddy Gabe, which were valved and matched by Evolution Motorsports. So they're a step above what you might get from K-Sport, because they were actually taken apart and the fluid was replaced, and they were actually put on a shock dyno and adjusted properly, so they're all fairly even. So it's a really great suspension system once it's set up that way. Some other, let me think, Koyo upgraded radiator, BHR mid-pipe, Turbo XS catback exhaust, let's see, Hawk HKS brakes, I'm trying to think, got slotted rotors, I can't remember the brand name, Jesus, it's been so long. Axial flow short shifter, upgraded shift knob, obviously. What other junk do I have in here, man? I got so much crap. 5-Ziggin FN01 RC wheels, like I said, Nitto Invo tires, crap. I do have a Zex nitrous system installed, although I haven't ran nitrous since I went turbo. I've been meaning to plumb it up to the and run it to the intercooler, the GReddy intercooler, as a means of providing a quick burst of cold air, just as a means, because I like the system and I like the way BHR installed it in my car, and I just don't want to take it out. So it's back there. I got a 10-pound tank in the trunk, but I haven't used nitrous in a long time. Like upgraded, HID headlights, HID fogs. The car didn't come standard with any of the GT body kit, but it does have all the GT parts on it. I've got a SEIBON carbon fiber hood, Now I've lined with the 3M sort of the rock blocker material, which was a great tip from my buddy Tony to help keep the carbon fiber from fading. It still looks practically brand new even after the 6 years that I've had it. Pretty much run Ineos fluids throughout the entire car. I run these days I'm running I think a 050, or I think I run a 040 up front for the engine. I run their transmission fluid. Such a great car. It feels with the suspension components and the wider tires, it feels incredibly planted. The turbo adds the low down torque that the rotary engine doesn't produce, which is really nice. So it's almost a nice balance. I'm only producing about 215 or 220 horsepower to the wheels because of the undersized wastegate, but I make that power at about 6,000, 6,500 RPMs, and I hold it the entire time, so it is actually kind of fun to drive that way. See if we can open it up a little bit. Boom! Bought this car brand new, 2005. This is my very first brand new car. Very first new car that I've ever bought. Very first project car. Heard like a strange vibration, so sorry about that. And very first project car. I've almost lived out of this car a couple of times because of that fact. I joke with friends, I used to have a 5-pound bag of rice in my apartment in case I ever over shopped for car parts. Yeah, well, stay the fuck there, you dumbass. Going over here to Paradise Bakery for some dinner. See if I can find a nice parking spot, give you guys a good decent walk around, because I don't think you've seen the car. Ooh. Yeah, the suspension is running. Oh my god, I'm running like what, 8K springs, 10K springs, something like that. It's a complete track setup. That was what this car was originally supposed to be for. It hasn't seen the track in several years though, because of how expensive it is. I'll hop out so you guys can also hear it too. Turn that off. Man, is the place even open? So this is it. She's well worn. A lot of things that need to be fixed. But fantastic car, absolutely fantastic. It's got a beautiful sound with the BHR mid-pipe and the Turbo XS exhaust are a great combination. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the little tour, and we'll see you out there.